taste the smokiness because we're sitting in front of a fire.
Smoke, yeah.
Because if you haven't noticed, this week's episode is outside. We thought we'd do something special for the 100th and do it outdoors.
Hello. Welcome to the Anything More, Anything Goes. My name's Miguel.
You're going to edit what I just said after that. And I'm Brendan.
No, I'm going to leave it all in just like this.
Oh, cool. I'm Brendan. I want to look at your camera and not mine.
No, my camera's right there. Folks, welcome to episode 100, where instead of getting drunk or stoned or freaking out or screaming or doing anything, we're outside.
We are.
We're outside. I don't know where to put my hand because my cable's like right on top of my stomach. Yours is too.
Just in the pocket.
Yeah.
In the pocket.
Welcome to the celebration.
Yeah.
There's
the most mellow we've been is the most celebratory episode.
There's three different ways we thought of doing this. One was the initial one where for some reason every time there's an anniversary, I think it's time to only talk about the podcast itself rather than a topic. There was the idea of doing something because every time you hit a milestone of like 50 or 100, you're like, oh, let's just do this topic or this or whatever.
Yeah.
And then there's this one that actually happened. We are outside. This was decided a few hours ago.
Yes.
We just set up and basically had it go as it did. And
we're just figuring it out as we go along.
And now we're not drunk or stoned. We're a little bit of both.
And they're just kind of cozy with this fire in front of us. It's the coldest day we've had in like 2 weeks, and the coldest day we're gonna have.
It's 70 degrees every day,
and now it's 40. So we're like, let's have a fire.
Yeah, I also forgot the clap sync, so this is gonna be
beautiful. I can clap sync here, and then you could just line it up at the clap sync, and then just go back.
Clap sync in 3, 2, 1. I don't think my mic got it at all, but that's okay. That's why I scream like that.
Okay. Well, the fire's going out.
The fire's going out. Do you want to load it back up, and I'll talk about some analytics from last week?
Yeah, you do that.
Don't even have to look at it to know. Folks, last week we posted the Fallout vid. We changed the way that we're posting a little bit. I'm going to keep cutting to Brendan's camera so you can see him just walking away. What? I know, that's what makes it hilarious. I'm just going to let it cut for the second that you get over there. Because there's only like 3 seconds where you're not on. So, anyway, last week, we talked about the Fallout episode, and that was a fucking ton of fun.
Yeah.
We changed the way that we're posting. So, instead of posting just like really, to put it honestly, like a lackluster, low effort, low maintenance, hour-and-a-half long video of the episode, kind of like the way that we record, we trimmed it down. What are you doing?
Did you? I realized I didn't know what to do.
It's going to be a great short. So,
this is not going to burn.
What was I talking about? The Fallout thing. Stop. It's a celebration. The pizza's going to be here in a few minutes. Timmy's on the other side of the camera. She got AirPods in. Yeah, so we're changing the way that we're posting. It's basically Monday's going to be an audio-only version that goes up for all our audio listeners. Yeah. And then ideally Tuesday will be the day that we post really a cut-down, like 15 to 25-minute thing. Very similar to what we used to do in terms of clips, only I actually try. Instead of just Command-B, delete, export. It takes forever, but it's really nice, and the analytics kind of show for it.
Yeah.
The shorts have done, as they've been doing, one randomly pops off, but it's got like, I got to tell you about our analytics a little bit. So our usual video,
just real quick, just
somewhere between like 30 to 100. This one's at like 200 before it even turns like 4 days old.
And that's fantastic.
That's fucking awesome.
So we're just going to keep going with that. You're doing a great job editing it. We got to have some...
Yes.
We're going to have some notes, so it's still going to be changing a little bit, but I would
everything
expect
you're hearing right
mostly
now,
the same.
Probably. Everything you're hearing right now, nobody else gets to hear unless you watch the full thing. And even the full episode, audio only, did better than our usual recent episodes.
It's because Fallout.
That's right. People really like Fallout, what we have to say.
False analytics.
Except for some of those people that are commented and they're really angry. I would love to read that on episode 200.
They're just like, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know this lore and that. Okay, guy, there's like 10 games over 20, 30 years.
What's so fucking funny is that the guy commented on it, and it's like 4 paragraphs, and it's just 3 replies of random people calling him out and be like, shut the fuck up. This is why people say they hate gamers, because of people like you.
Awesome.
I'm like, all right.
Shout out to those people.
I really hope that...
I keep talking to that, and it's not looking at
your camera. I'm also talking to yours, and yours is facing the other way.
Yeah.
This is good.
Yeah, so next time if we do this again, we know to do it on opposite sides, because it's more natural.
Well, because I'm used to looking at you.
At you, so it's easier to just look at that camera, not just be like, so I'm going to talk to you and you.
Hold on. Let me just cheat the... Hi, guys. Welcome to the Anything More, Anything Goes. My name is...
Miguel. Okay.
All right. So what are we talking about this week? Not the
I wanted to
Ministry
talk
of
about
Gentlemanly
Fallout again.
Warfare.
No, we were
Did you
talking-
really?
Yeah.
Did you watch it again?
No, but I wanted to. I've been
'cause
playing
you've been
Fallout
playing.
4.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna play New Vegas, but I also just don't have fucking time.
I'm gonna play New Vegas after I finish 4.
W.
But
Don't they take place? Which isn't Fallout 4 like the furthest in the future one that we have?
No. I think it goes 4 New Vegas, and then this. I just saw a timeline of it. I think there's like 6 years between 4 New Vegas, and then like 9 years in between New Vegas and this, or the same years. Just change those games around.
You know what's really funny? Do you remember? This is so niche. You're not a huge zombies fan.
No, I'm not.
You remember Advanced Warfare where they had the exosuits and jumping?
Yeah, it was terrible.
You remember Exo Zombies?
Yeah.
So this is clearly only funny to me and my like 13-year-old self. Every time we were talking about when the bomb dropped in the first episode of Fallout, when you load up Exo Zombies in Advanced Warfare and you hit just start, and it blips open with like a cutscene and then the menu overlays, and then there's an audio cue, and it's always for the first map, so it's always the same thing. So anytime you start up Exo Zombies, it's like I don't remember what actor's name. John Malkovich.
Okay.
It's John Malkovich going, when Atlas dropped the bomb. And that's the only part of the quote I remember. So every time we're sitting there, you're like, yeah, you know, in the episode when they dropped the bomb, in my head, I go, when Atlas he's not going to get it. Don't say it. I need to keep it to myself.
Yeah, I wouldn't get that reference at all.
No, that's why.
So,
that's why I waited until now, so I could take a lengthy amount of time to explain it to you and have it not make sense.
but what we're talking about this week,
Fuck you.
no bombs are falling.
No. Actually,
It is
big
a bomb.
because it sucks. It's Rebel Moon Part 2, The Scargiver. The sequel to Rebel Moon Part 1, The Child
The
of Fire.
exposition. Oh.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. Part 1 was the exposition. Part 2 was more exposition,
Exposition
but
part
sometimes a nice photo.
Exposition part 2 with action.
Like one action scene. Dude, listen.
The whole end
All right,
was action.
Off the bat, movie fucking sucked.
It did. It was bad.
I was so ready to defend Zack Snyder.
Well, hold on. We throw that around a little too easy. I don't think
we dislike a lot of things. I don't think people understand how much this one bothers us and how bad it is, and the amount of money behind it.
it wasn't terrible.
It was.
It wasn't.
It was really
I
bad.
think that the reason why we view it as so bad is because it has that budget and that standard.
Yeah, so we're doing things outside. You're definitely going to hear the children that decided now is the perfect time to play in the driveway. Not for the hour and a half it took us to get over here and set up, but right now.
It wasn't even playing. It was just one screen. Just, hey, I'm here. Thank you.
Just letting you guys know that I'm here. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
So
If people really want to know where we stand, they can
Yeah.
watch our first episode, link in the bio, when we reviewed the first one.
we're
like
so
6 months
hopeful.
ago. Oh, yeah, we were very excited and hopeful, and then, honestly, you're right, because we throw it around a lot,
Yeah.
saying that things suck. No, this sucked. Like, I fucking hated this. I hated every...
I've seen a lot
Almost
worse
every minute.
things this year, but I'm also not going
What
to watch
was worse
this again.
than this that came out that was new?
You really want me to go?
Yes.
Part 1.
That was last year. It was like December.
I'm talking about like year to date.
The recentness of the podcast.
The last 365 days.
It's been
This has
5
not been the
months
worst
and
thing
you
I've
love
seen.
me.
Aquaman was worse,
Aquaman was pretty bad.
even though I did kind of like that one.
I know.
There was a whole bunch of things that came out around that time that were terrible.
Mean Girls.
That oh yeah.
Mean Girls was pretty bad.
It's just I'm really blocking out that entire time period.
Yeah. Well, because that entire time period was us like watching stuff and being like, wow, I hate this. And then we went on vacation. We came back and we were like, oh, analytics are in the shitter. Let's watch a new movie. Oh, I hate this too.
Yeah. You know what? We always talk about how like we had like a shadow ban kind of thing and we had all this stuff happen and we used like an AI image. You know what we didn't take into account that you and you both completely ignored?
What?
We changed the look and logo
Oh,
completely.
we changed literally every single part of what the podcast was.
We're like, why aren't people watching? Maybe they can't find it. I don't
Maybe they're like, what the fuck is this one? Why did I subscribe to this? By the way, we lost like 10 subs when we came back.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of bad stuff that we've watched. Let's talk about, how do we want to start? You want to start with filmography? Because I feel like that'll be an easy one.
Sure, the
Or
cinematography was great.
Fucking stellar. Some
But-
of those shots, Zack Snyder in a slow-mo, someone needs to take it away from him.
Yes, he does. Someone needs
But-
to revoke that license.
But when it gets slow and there's somebody like doing a backflip through the air because they got shot in the face,
Yeah.
really pretty.
Speaking of the cinematography and like directing as a whole,
Yeah.
this is something I thought we were watching it, and it's a conversation I think it's time to have. Is Zack Snyder worse than Michael Bay?
Ratio.
I'm not even talking. I'm just talking about directing habits and everything. The amount that he leaned on slow motion in this movie and things he's done before, and just the same crap. And everyone was complaining about Michael Bay movies and stuff. But like,
Ratio. Ready? Hold on.
yeah,
Let's keep it simple. We'll go 5v5. Okay, ready? 5 Transformers movies of Michael Bay, because that's really what he's known for in the people after our generation, because I don't fucking know any else in his filmography. And then, oh, is it going out again?
yeah. Just keep.
And
going.
then Zack Snyder, it spit at you. It was like, damn, man, why are you getting up? And then Zack Snyder, you have Man of Steel, BVS, his Justice League, 2 Rebel Moon movies. If you want to go 5v5, Zack Snyder loses. And he loses pretty fucking dramatically. Like that second and fifth one's really bad. The second Transformers movie is pretty rough. But that shit is burning now.
It is.
Hell yeah.
I thought those logs were not going to burn. I was
They're
wrong.
definitely burning.
They're burning more than anything.
Yeah, I'd give it to Michael Bay in terms of quality of the movie overall. I know it's so much more than that, because especially the Rebel Moon movies are also written by Snyder.
Yeah.
But it's, or you got 2 movies I never want to watch again, and like
It's
3
really,
that I could be like, all right, yeah.
Superman, I didn't rewatch till we had to,
Man of Steel's pretty good.
but it is pretty good. Batman versus Superman, I wanted to forget. So it's
The
another
ultimate cut is pretty
third
good.
one. It's better.
And then his Justice League is like,
was his edit
yes,
was a good movie.
it was the original
But
one.
also because I've seen that movie like 6 times now, like
You watched that 4-hour movie 6 times?
no, I mean like with the original version and now when
yes,
I'm rewatching them and
yes.
everything, I kind of don't want to see it again. Kind of like how I felt with Deadpool 2 after the Christmas edition came out.
Yeah, because it just feels like it's played. So now it's, what happens when you get to Michael Bay?
What do you mean?
I mean, like, what's your rewatchability for Michael Bay movies?
I don't.
But
But
you're
like,
gonna have to,
I mean, like, if like an old Transformers movie is on or something, like I'll give it a shot.
right?
And like I never got to a point where I saw him coming out with something new where I was just like, I don't
I
want to
have
see
to be
this.
there, yeah.
I didn't watch like the Ninja Turtles movies that he came out with, but it wasn't just because they were his. It was just I didn't need them at that time.
Yeah, agreed. Because they had just done it. They did Ninja Turtles in like 2008,
Yeah.
and then again.
So
It's just the neighbor. I do love the fact though that she locked the door.
did she?
Yes.
Oh.
This is this is the exact thing that you would expect like 17 or 18-year-old kids on TikTok to be doing.
Yeah.
It's just you and me, like
25, just sitting here.
great vibes.
Yeah.
Talking about Zack Snyder's Justice League for the 3rd time.
Oh,
That clip
God.
of Barbie's right. I have a suddenly I really care and love Zack Snyder's Justice League. Me too. That's crazy. So the filmography and the directing, I'll say the W goes to Zack Snyder or Michael Bay. It's a lot of it was, cinematography is good.
Yeah.
The directing, I don't even know where to start. Right, the whole thing takes place on the farm. It's this sprawling space epic with these ships and this huge like intergalactic empire, but you spend the whole movie on one planet or in a ship, kind of like the last one.
Yeah.
Super boring.
Yeah.
Not a fan.
I don't have a problem with the locations, but at the same time, they were trying to make it seem like this grand thing, and it
Yeah.
also seemed super limited in scope.
Yeah.
And I think that's what he created a brilliant universe, and the story he decided to tell within it
Was
was,
the worst
just
one.
yeah, it was the most boring thing.
It's just we need to the exposition, man.
Yeah.
It's the entire movie. He's trying to explain to you, like, look at how sprawling my universe is. It's so cool. There's games and comics planned to follow up this universe. You're like, I don't want you to fucking tell me.
Yeah.
I want you to show me. That's the point of storytelling in film.
You and like everything he decided to show us was just
boring.
exposition that didn't matter for people who died and things that were just kind of overall terrible. And like all the exposition in the first one wasn't enough to stop him from using exposition for the entire second half of this movie.
Yeah, see, the redeeming part about this universe was really hoping that the first one was the exposition movie and going, no, this is the good one. Half of this movie is more exposition.
Yeah.
There's a literal scene of them doing a Last Supper and each one of them telling their life story in order.
Yes. Except for that one guy who he skipped because we saw his backstory.
Yes, we did. We saw his backstory 5 minutes earlier. And then, fuck, I just had it. What's the one scene? Brandon, there's one scene that stuck out so big. Oh, the sex scene.
Did
How-
it to you? Because it was very forgettable for me.
Well, because the best part about it, because it's only the best scene because of what comes right after it. It's the scene where they're kissing and they're
Oh.
having sex and they're talking and she reveals more of her backstory to him as she looks longingly into his eyes, and then it cuts to where they're sleeping and it's a barn
And they're just
with
on this
beds
bed
everywhere
in the middle.
and they're right in
And
the middle.
everyone's around them.
They're giving
There's got to be
everyone a
children
show.
in there. Like, they didn't give a shit.
No.
They just went for it.
They fucked, and then she was like, my father was this guy and he did this to me and this is my life, and then I killed this guy and then I screamed. He goes, understand, I see you. And then they fuck again.
Yeah, that... And then, Anthony Hopkins...
Oh my god.
James? Jesus droid James. Triple J.
Oh my god. Well, I don't even know what any of these people's fucking names are, but none of them are close to James. If anything, James is...
Oh, his name isn't James?
No, his name is James.
Oh, okay.
It's just, can you name one other character in the movie? What about an actor in the movie besides Anthony Hopkins?
That one guy that from Hawkeye and Echo fame.
Oh,
He
the one
wasn't
guy.
even in Echo. He died in Hawkeye.
That's why I couldn't think of him. You were like, oh, he's an Echo. I was like, I watched the fucking
No, her
show.
brother.
Like, I like this show.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I mean, she's famous. She was.
What's
in,
her name?
Yes,
That's my point.
she was in The Kingsman.
Was she?
Yeah, she was the one with the knife feet. You couldn't tell because she had normal hair
That's right.
and
Instead
not
of the,
space Nazi hair,
No, it grew out a little bit.
which looked terrible on every person in
Yeah,
that
it
film.
did. I don't even like there's no enthusiasm in my voice because enthusiasm in my voice because there's like it's not even like we're hard on movies, you know? It's you and I are very ass kissy with movies or understandable.
Yeah.
You know, when like Deadpool and Wolverine comes out, if it sucks, I'm gonna sit here and be like, look, I'll die on this hill. That's a great movie. That's a top 10.
Yeah.
Because bad movies I give a lot. And even movies that are just close to us,
I
we're
think you
like,
fucked up that quote.
I think I did.
You're like, even if it's bad, I'll die in that hill. It's great. I'll give it a
I'll
10.
defend it. Well, because our opinions are whatever, but it doesn't mean that we hate all movies. And the way that this year has gone for reviews
Yeah.
feels like people think we only hate movies.
Yeah.
Like, one or two good movies that we've seen
Fallout.
last?
I was
Fallout was great.
genuinely
Fallout was
excited to
fucking
talk about
phenomenal.
because I'm like, I get to be positive today.
I know. But then it's like Godzilla Minus One was great.
Great. Godzilla
The other
versus
Godzilla.
Kong. Yeah, there you go.
It's great. But like that's it.
Yeah.
So it's
All you need to make a good movie is some radiation.
that's how you get Wonka.
That was a bad
just
movie.
like it was. Well, we also watch it bootlegged on my
Shush. Who? Not us.
with some
Never.
roulette ads from fucking India.
Fucking
It was-
Persia.
It was so funny.
Fuck,
No, it's just like I'm fucking tired, man.
yeah.
We keep watching bad movies, and like this movie looks great, and the one fight scene with the fake lightsaber sword things
was really cool.
was super cool. And then she like loses her arm and then die. Everybody fucking dies too.
I just have such a big issue with those swords.
Why?
They're not laser swords. They're not plasma. They're not whatever. They're just hot swords. And if
Oh.
you're hitting someone with a sword that's so hot it's glowing, probably not structurally sound.
Probably not. No.
No.
One hit and that's it.
Yeah.
But instead they're bouncing off and shit.
Yeah, and then like, how do they burn different colors? The blue's supposed to be hotter. Does that mean that one's more fragile? Like, how do these work? And the ending pissed me off so much.
Yeah.
When the entire ship goes sideways, they're falling. They're lucky to be alive.
Yeah.
They hit the bottom. They're having this fight. She's there pinned down. I'm like, her fucking boyfriend's gonna show up and save her. And the moment I saw him, I'm like, ah, there he is. By the way, how'd he get here?
Matter.
You don't know. He don't know.
Figured it
He's
out.
just there.
He just did it.
And the one woman with the short hair and the black like line in front of her eye that looks like
Who?
Furiosa. I don't know her name.
I don't even know.
Not
I
at
can't
all.
even picture who you're talking about.
Exactly. I don't remember her from the first film, and she survived the second, while other people who you cared more about died.
Oh, you're right. Wasn't it the sister? Was the brother was in the first one? And then he died or something? She was like, I will take up arms.
Oh no, you're talking about like the war, like the plane people. There's a lot
I
of
don't know,
stuff
man.
that
There's
we
so
don't
much-
care.
And
This
it's
is
not
what
even
happens
like
if you
we
have 2
didn't
hours.
watch it. Dude, like I'll admit in the first one I fell asleep at some point and I missed like the middle
Yeah,
or like a chunk of the middle. But I was wide awake.
it's
I was
just
paying attention.
you're like an hour and a half in. You're like, oh, that was more exposition, and you missed it. And you're like, what'd they say? And you're like, I don't know. Can't be that important. We've already had 2 hours of exposition. Guess
You
what?
would've thought.
It's really important.
Oh, I don't know. It's just
I've never seen a movie try so hard not to movie. Like it was just
no. It tried so hard to be this huge thing that it stopped coming off as trying to be this huge thing.
yeah,
It looked like it was parodying itself.
yeah, in a way.
It feels like Zack Snyder was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna make this sprawling epic," and they were
It-
like, "We'll give you $50 million if you could pull this off."
It looks like they had a set budget of a spoof
Yeah.
of what like a fantasy or Star Wars
yeah.
movie would have, but then they gave it a CGI budget of Star Wars. Like
The
it's
CG was pretty good.
it was
A lot of
pretty
those shots are really
great.
good, except for like the
Some of it-
weird scene of the ship in space. The ship always seemed a little flaccidy, little
Flaccid
yes,
spaceship.
like a little.
How do you make a spaceship look erect in space? What are you looking for?
Texture, it's just like
They got rid of the Snickers dick vein on the ship in space, and he just didn't like it.
I'm not thinking about the dick vein on a Snickers very often, like you are.
They're getting rid of it. It's a problem.
Is it really? Wait, this is real?
Have you not seen those memes? I don't know if it's real, but it's a meme.
Fuck.
They're like, I know we're trying to be a little bit more like appropriate nowadays, but taking away the dick vein on the Snickers is where I draw
That's
the line.
really like. But what's the? You know how that has to happen? It has to be like even like a nun is like, oh, candy for the kids, and she's like, oh, I'm gonna eat this Snickers, and the kid's like has a Snicker in her hand. She goes,
Which no one has ever done.
no.
Not once.
We're talking about the dick vein on a Snickers.
I hope that's not how the audience reacts.
I need a minute.
It's not us, it's the internet.
I don't even remember how we got onto that.
That was me. Oh, you said he said the spaceship
yes.
looked flaccid, so I said, how does one look erect?
Yes. And then he brought up the
Pizza's here.
Pizza's here?
Pizza's here.
Oh yeah, we're gonna take a 5-minute break. So the Snickers dick vein. Now that we're back to the main topic at hand.
Oh, that's the main topic?
Yes.
Because Zack Snyder's movie was that bad?
Yeah, it was pretty
Talking
bad.
about Snickers now?
So tell me what else? What else did you hate about this movie? Because even the action scenes were pretty lackluster.
There were... I don't think that they were lackluster. I think it was because the characters I didn't care about. There wasn't enough weight to
yeah.
them. But the
Yeah.
action itself was cool. The ideas he came up with, the trench warfare on this little, like, village that looked like it belonged in, like, Ireland or Iceland.
Yeah. This is probably where it was filmed.
It's really cool. One thing that really bothered me is that spaceship was just sitting in the sky. And,
No
like,
gun or anything.
I know that this is, like, not unique
I was
to...
also confused. Like, why was that their whole army? Was that one ship all that was left? They were
I
like,
think they
"I've
said that
never
one
seen
ship
a
was the
dreadnought."
last one of those ships left.
Oh.
But like in a whole bunch of other alien movies and people are like abducting, you kind of like forgive it more.
Yeah.
Because like they're hovering there, but they're aliens. And
Yeah.
it's just like whatever. These are too
not
humanoid. You
doing
see the
anything.
technology they have,
Yeah.
and that ship is just sitting there for hours and hours in orbit instead of just being in space where it could float.
Yeah.
It's just burning so much gas.
Can't believe they waste all that fucking money,
I'm
man.
just sitting there, but that's what they're talking about how they don't have the resources they used to. They don't have whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're wasting millions of gallons of gasoline just chilling in the atmosphere. And like
Like these.
that fucking old timey tank crank to turn the gun, which was funny.
It was
but
like it's clear that there's too many points of Star Wars inspiration in these. Not to the point where it
I
would like
didn't-
be
it wasn't even
cool.
that. It was any big franchise. I got Lord of
Yeah.
the Rings. I got
Yes,
fucking,
there was a lot of fucking Lord
there
of
was
the
a
Rings.
lot
in
of
that.
Lord of the Rings. There was like some Beowulf kind of stuff in there.
Yeah.
But that may have just been like the Nordic vibe for me again with the
I think
village.
that's probably where a lot of it came from.
Space Nazis. They didn't even bother making them not Nazis.
they
were
didn't
more
try to give them
Nazis than in
personality or
Star
anything.
Wars.
They're just like,
They were wearing the same uniform.
so you're a space Nazi. What should they look like, Zach?
Space Nazis.
You ever see a Nazi? Yeah.
Put him in
Who's
space,
that?
man.
Like,
Do you,
oh, so you want like a
space it
space
up
helmet?
bit? No.
No,
Just put him in space.
Oh, shave the sides of their head too. Cut the top real short.
Make sure they got a skin flap on the back. The thing was fucking disgusting.
I guess we could use it to transition and talk about the villain. What's his name?
Scargetter.
The Scar. So you have the Nazi guy who was the big guy, the big villain of the first one, who came in and they went through this whole thing of getting this team together and then killing him. Yeah, that's Fireball. Good luck with that.
Yeah. Forgot about that.
Yeah, not as good as the other one. So they make it a big deal of fighting him and killing him and he's dead, whatever. And then in this one they give him like
Skin flap.
They put him in like a cocoon or a condom.
Which felt different than the last movie, but I also didn't rewatch the last
the
one.
vibe didn't make any sense. I wanted to rewatch the last movie, and then I didn't want to.
I still wanted to, but
I
our
don't.
schedule just didn't line up.
I'll wait for
quite
him
right.
to make the super cut of the 5 hours that actually is not a horrific piece of garbage.
That we keep talking about every podcast.
Yes, we do. And then he comes back and they like peel him out of this like goo thing, and he's got all these tubes in him, and he's got this skin flap on top of the big tube that's plugged into his brain and his spinal cord.
Yeah.
What the only off-putting thing that he did in the whole thing. Then he fucking dies again.
I'm a little fuzzy on this because I kind of watch all of them all together all the time, and I'm so aware of this. Do they introduce the Emperor in episode 4, or do we have to wait for the sequels to see him?
Palpatine. I mean, you see him a little bit.
But his character is introduced.
In the first one, yeah.
Okay. There is no guy above him in this but the king, but they never introduce him as an current threat.
No.
There's always just the flashbacks that he's in, but you never see him and they go, oh man, he's pissed off that you're not getting this done or whatever. Not a word.
No, it's just the one Nazi guy.
It's just him being
There's
a
no
dick.
Adolf. It's just...
It's just Goebbels.
So he got the skin flap and they bring him back to life and he's like, how? So, Captain, you died. We brought you back to life and you lost. What would you like to do this time around? The same thing. You sure? Yeah, just give me more guys. I don't think it's going to work that way. Why do you keep doing
More.
She's the Scargiver, actually. So
And
she gave me this scar.
That was one of the good only things I liked in that movie, where he went the Scargiver. She gave me this, and the guy in front of her went, "Who the fuck is that?" Like, he didn't say it like that, but you saw it in his face. He's like, "Why do we care?" And it was like, it's just this dude's personal beef with her. She didn't even betray him. Like, that was his boss. He's just trying to get a seat on the Senate, which is also a fucking Star Wars term.
Can I try to imagine what it was like on set where Zack Snyder's like, yeah, so at this point, you know, we're really starting to film these parts of the second movie because now we're really getting deep into this. And they go, all right, what's it called? He goes, oh, it's called The Scargiver. It's about her. She gives him a scar. He goes, oh, okay, cool. So then, you know, they're doing takes and Zack Snyder's behind the camera and there's like this poor woman like next to him. And the guy on camera's like, she gave me this. She's the Scargiver. And Zack Snyder goes, but then it's even worse because they say it 3 times, and 2 out of 3 times he goes, look what you gave me. You're the Scargiver. And every time they do a take, weeks apart.
Yeah.
Because they're shooting on these locations. 3 weeks later, the guy goes, get the Scargiver.
Yeah.
And again, Zack goes, that's the name of the movie. You get it?
And like, just to bring it up, that again, the comparisons to Star Wars. Not once is A New Hope mentioned in a Star Wars. It's Leia saying to Obi-Wan, "You're our only hope."
You imagine it's
but like that's not. But the New Hope.
I have to find Luke. I have to let the Force awaken.
But you know
Make
what?
you comfortable,
You know
right?
who did that bad? The final movie going The Last Skywalker or the Rise of Skywalker was.
Yeah, because
Who are
Palpatine.
you? You ever see that video on YouTube of the one audience seeing it and realizing what's going to happen? Go, no, and the entire theater is,
she's
and then they
looking at
say it, and they're like, "Fuck!" Like they're so mad.
That's not even the worst part. The worst part is that Palpatine's return was announced on Fortnite. You forget that too. That's one of those things.
No, I didn't forget that. I didn't know that.
Really? Yeah, it was a whole Fortnite event the first time Star Wars was in it, and they were like, "On this day is this event. Everybody sign on. There's a special there's a transmission from the Empire coming. It's like a hologram of Palpatine being like, "I'm back, bitches." You're like, somehow Palpatine
Okay, but for a
returned.
Fortnite expansion, I'll accept that. Not the final movie.
Yeah,
Like,
they're like, "This is." We need to start our press junket for everything. How do we want to start this? Fortnite's big
Fortnite,
right now. I
yeah.
promise. Bob Iger's like, the fuck is Fortnite? They go, no, trust me. Don't worry about it. It's going to be good. And the movie comes out and Bob's just,
I like how this turned into talking shit about Star Wars again. I was using it as the good example, and we just started immediately talking shit.
no, there's a lot of shit to talk about. I'm sorry. You're right. By comparison, Star Wars is leaps and bounds ahead of Rebel Moon Part 2, The Scargiver.
Even episodes 8 and 9? Yeah.
I'm not a... You know what's funny?
Yeah.
Because I said this the last time. Every time that we talk about Star Wars or we watch them, Timmy and I get to the sequel trilogy. Not as horrible as we say.
Not good.
Not good. Because the bar is so much higher. But like,
Well, that's what
7's fun. 8 is like...
Bad.
It's I.
Finn and Rose thing, bad. Okay,
Mine is-
we're still doing it. We're still doing it. So let's just you know,
I don't feel bad.
Rebel Moon.
Rebel Moon Part 2
Even
is
worse.
Stargiver. So the comparison to Star Wars, yes, it's
there. You got the fucking floating ships and stuff using the same. I could tell that using the same
lightsabers.
special effect tactic
Yeah.
to get that thing to hover that they did in Episode 7. Because remember people going over it and going, "Did you use the same one as the 4th movie? No, you did it new. How'd you do it?" But a green screen in front of the wheel. Woo! Revolutionary.
Okay. I don't know. There's a lot of passion behind that one. the comparisons to Star Wars, I get what it was supposed to be. Zack Snyder also fell short because he's like, yeah, man, this Disney rejected my Star Wars pitch because it was too violent, it had sex and drugs in it.
Which it didn't.
No,
We went and waited
It was
till the
PG-13.
And yeah, we didn't realize that. The entire time we're waiting for like
A boob.
something like that, because they're like kept having sex and everything, and you're like, all this graphic material is happening, all these people are getting murdered,
All these fight
and it
scenes?
keeps getting cut away at the last second. We're
Yep.
like, how is this rated R? And then the movie ends, and we looked at it at PG-13. Oh,
They already cuts coming.
so like,
I bet you
Can
that
we sue him
4.5
for
hour
false
cut.
advertising?
Probably. I bet you that 4.5 hour cut's gonna drop on Netflix without any announcement or trailer or anything.
when do you think we're getting it? Next month or like next year or like July?
It depends. Because I'm positive it already exists. What?
And to everyone else, that's nothing. But whenever you say it depends, I just think of the Love Crew when he's like depends and he's holding up the package of diapers.
When Atlas dropped the bomb. No, it's the fuck was I saying? Now you got me all.
Sorry, it depends. But what depends? I don't remember because I was giggling to myself.
Fuck, dude. I really don't remember.
Was it a bad movie? It depends. Was it shit? It depends. Do you have a brain? Yes, that it's shit.
Do you like stories? Yes? Don't watch it.
Don't watch this one. All right, is
Do
there a
you
story?
like
Yes, but
action? Yes?
don't watch it.
Do
Okay,
you like
I have something else that I have a gripe with.
a gripe with?
A gripe.
Oh, add it to the list.
Sorry, I said that like an idiot and it made me chuckle. I have a grape.
I have green grapes.
I
in
have
my
green
backseat.
grapes for this movie with its name on it. Okay, just getting dumber.
Why are you talking?
But banana bread, bro.
Bro!
Banana bread. No,
Oh, hold on.
so
Timmy looked at me. We need to talk about
just completely derailed.
the
No,
dick vein on the Snickers.
so one thing I really hated about this movie,
Yes.
which I brought up to you,
Yes.
is how there's this dude in this first one who's this prince of this far
Oh,
off
this
land,
guy.
and he's dressed like Conan the Barbarian. And you're just
The
like,
inspiration's
okay,
very
so
clear.
clearly he's from this kind of people. He's a
Yeah.
barbaric guy, whatever. They give him backstory. He's
Horrible.
fucking Indian Bruce Wayne in like this apocalyptic
right.
war with
Well,
the
his parents get
flying
killed.
aliens from the first Avengers movie.
Oh my god, that's right. And it's like
And
this-
he's
this
got all
weird
these
like
griffins. He's not Batman. He's Griffin, man.
it's not steampunk. It's like it's what you would envision like Dishonored or like
Steampunk. Futuristic steampunk.
but a little more British, a little less punk, a little more steam.
I only ever associate steampunk with like the British or
Suicide
like
bag.
like
We'll say it feels like it's 1890 in England.
1890 in England, right before World War I. That's what it felt like to you.
Maybe like
30 years
17,
post the
19.
Civil War. That's what it felt like.
well, yes, that's what it. Regardless, that was the interesting movie.
Yes,
There was a cutaway scene
there was this.
that was a
whole war.
backstory.
Yeah.
That was more like from the character designs to the time period to the way it looked. And I guarantee you that's Zach's way of going, you want more?
You want more?
You want
yes,
this
I
one?
want more. I wanted just that. What did you give
Just
me?
make that one. Don't tell me about anything else.
But like, so he's this whole like posh dude in this high-end society where this war's going on, and he just goes, "I'm just gonna become Conan." Why? Cause fuck it. And like, there's no reason given for that.
No.
The girl
doesn't he
cuts
die?
off her arms for this robo arms. She just cuts. She didn't lose them. She just
she's giving
chooses
this
to remove
dramatic
them.
backstory, and this young girl is walking. Her parents are like dead or some shit. She goes to a
Her
bed.
whole city was blown up.
That's right.
She was in ruins.
Whatever. So she was
But
in
her arms
ruins,
stayed. But she had to remove them.
at a bed, and then she went under the bed and just so happened to pull out 2 lightsabers with 2 robot arms next to them. So then, of course, like any sane person would, she instantly, without a thought or emotion in her face, took a sword and went chop, and then I'm gonna take the arm right here.
Super calm, and then had it recut off when she died.
When she died, yes.
Like it's just.
She was super badass up until there was 1 dude left.
Yeah.
You would think it was harder to fight 4 dudes at once like she did.
Yeah.
But when the last dude was the only one,
It's not
was
like,
like,
she
"Ah,
could have
my
been
arm."
like, my arm. It was a robot arm. There's no feeling in there.
I don't actually
Nothing's
feel this,
changed.
and there's no blood loss
She's
or anything.
sitting
That's
there at
crazy.
the end, just like, man, I
Now I
can't
just
get up.
got a
I
robot
lost my
stub.
arm. I'm like, did you get robo nerves? Like what? So
I got phlegm.
yeah. I'm running out of things to like.
I don't know what to say.
There's just nothing.
Like, there's nothing.
Nothing stood out enough to really critique, and like
No.
I'm really just clawing that shit to like
I'm
just
just
be
trying
like,
to be
this
like-
was bad.
What about the sex scene in the middle of the barn? What about
It was
that?
just, and the robot being useless
James.
until the end did
But
10
he
cool
wasn't even
things.
useless. He wasn't useful even in the end. He showed up. He fought a couple dudes, and then it cut away from him as he ran
He
away.
murdered
Yes.
so many people, and in the beginning of the first movie, they talk about how they stop like using them, but clearly
He's the
they
way
were
that you should be
far
going.
superior. And I think it's because they stopped fighting because the girl died or something like that. But like
The princess.
clearly they got around
Who
it.
happened
So
to
like
have
a
been, like,
little bit of
reborn.
reprogramming.
Couple of antlers.
Put out
Who
a
knows?
fucking update. Everyone's fine. Like, what do you? They went, the princess died. All these robots are useless.
Better get rid of them, except James.
James.
Let James go to.
James is a G. G for Jesus.
James is spelled with a J.
So is Jesus.
Welcome to spelling class. Would you believe we both have college degrees?
No. None of them were English,
don't-
so.
I got phlegm. It won't come out. I don't know what to say about this shit, dude. Like,
What? Where do you think it could go if they make a third one?
if
If they make a third one,
you think Netflix is gonna give the 13% movies a third go,
stranger things have happened.
where could they go? Where's the Darth Vader equivalent?
There
Like, if you-
wasn't
if you-
one. You kept saying there was going to be one, and there
I was
wasn't.
hoping. The first one felt like the prequels in terms of the story it had to get through. If it's like, all right, you got to see Anakin grow, so that way in the original trilogy, Darth Vader is this iconic thing that's lasted 50 years
Yeah.
in pop culture. So I'm like, all right, fine. You get to episode 2 or part 2, the Scargiver, and I'm like, all right, so this guy's gonna come back, or there's gonna be some villain. He's gonna be like a robotic, whatever the fuck. No. It's James is the robot, and this guy looks the fucking same.
Yeah.
He just has a tube in the back of his neck.
You just reminded me of something by saying this was 50 years we've had Darth Vader now.
Yeah.
Give it another 50 years. I know we'll be like so old it won't fucking
Can't wait.
matter. But he'd become public domain.
And Zack Snyder gets one more chance.
And he gets one more shot. Or
He's like, guys, look, part 3. This is just Darth Vader.
100 years from now, this gets public domain and someone remakes it and it's worse. Or just a reboot. You don't even need public
That's
domain.
horrifying.
Yeah.
Not of it happening again. It's just horrifying to think of 100 years in the future.
Is it?
A little bit, yeah.
What do you think it'd be like? Because 100 years ago, well, in between World War I and II,
Here we go.
they were
Back to
sitting
World
there
War One.
going, they're gonna have flying cars, gonna be living like the Jetsons. I don't think the Jetsons wasn't even out yet.
I don't think so.
That's
But
how
that's
old
what
it is.
that's what they said in 1924. They were
But
like,
you got all this stuff, and like it's gonna be grand or whatever. Knowing what we know now and the regulations, where we could probably have like the flying cars and stuff, but we can't because it's like, dangerous because we have skyscrapers and shit.
yeah.
Where do you think would be? Do you think we'll just be dead? Do you think America will still be here? Do you think that it'll just be like? I'm getting really like deep with this when
You
we're just
are.
talking about movies.
Well,
Or
if
do
you
you
wanna get
think
real
that
deep,
it's
like-
just gonna be good and better, and we're actually gonna get to that point?
What if it's just the fucking same?
It's exactly the same.
They're like, nah, 2024 was fine. Let's just
Let's just
keep it right
stay
there.
there. It's like Fallout. Everything's the 50s, except it's the 2020s.
Only it's 2177.
You know that they were going to ban TikTok? No, TikTok ran for president.
And it won.
It won.
4 more years of TikTok.
The new national anthem, you had to floss the whole time.
Football has been outruled by Fortnite.
You really gotta start watching South Park. They have a whole episode called Sarcastic Ball where they make football very, very safe. But I'm gonna struggle to tell this story because there's minors outside right now. But so then Butters has this Gatorade that he's giving out to everyone because he's just the best and kindest guy. It is. And they're drinking it, and Tom Brady's drinking it. So anyway,
Isn't Butters like a 12-year-old boy?
the 4th grade. Maybe they went up to 5th.
Butters is like an 8-year-old boy.
Yeah. Well, he didn't know what it was, so he just started storing it in his cabinet in a bunch of bottles. So then the obvious next move was to sell it.
He didn't know what it was.
He got grounded.
Tell me more. We're reviewing South Park today.
Everyone's drinking this left and right, and then Stan's dad goes, "What the fuck?" Because he's the one who accidentally created the sport, and it's terrible.
The what?
The sport, the Sarcastic Ball.
Sarcastic Ball. Sorry.
Yes. And then he takes a sip of it at the very end of the episode, and he just goes,
That's cum.
"This is cum." And then it immediately cuts the Butters in his room and his dad yelling at him, just, "You're fucking grounded." That's disgusting, Butters. And he's like, I didn't know what I was doing. Everybody just really liked it.
I was just trying to please the dad. That means poor Butters was in there like 8, 9 times a day just...
No, since he hit puberty, he was saving it. He had a closet full top to bottom. But still, he had a nationwide market. So...
He had a closet filled top to bottom. And he was just like...
No,
like,
man.
"Hey, I'm a new client. I'd really like to
It had commercials.
try to ship out your supply." And he goes, "Come to my office. You want a sample? Come to the cum closet."
Well, the thought was that it was supposed to be football, but for really nice and cuddly people, and they thought that the more cum they drank, the nicer they'd be, so the better they'd be at the game. So they were drinking Butters sports drink that was just, yeah.
That's how bad this movie was. We're so much more interested to talk about
Just
a
a
random
random
episode of South Park with the cum closet. Like, it's... Sorry. Let's be honest here. This is episode 100. This is the high episode.
It is, and it ruined it.
Did it?
It didn't ruin it as a whole, but I would say that it is a bit more disjointed of a video and
Oh,
everything.
this is incredibly disjointed when we need to be very jointed together.
Yes.
Get it? But well, it's also, usually we record on Saturday. Saturday was 420
This
for
is
the 100th
Sunday.
episode.
We're outside. Like, we did a lot of different things. There's a lot going on. I'm constantly worried about this fire always going out.
Well, no, it's not even that. It's initially like, I realized, I think in January, I was like, dude, the 100th episode is on 420. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Like, the stars had to align. And of course, even if we did this yesterday, probably would have been the same outcome.
I would have been talking less.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, would have been very fucked up. And, but still, like, even if we were, like, oh, that's what you mean by the same outcome. Like, there was still a bad movie.
Yeah, no, it still would have been a bad movie, and you and me just sitting here going, I don't even know what to say.
Yeah.
Like, I can't name a single character. That's not because I wasn't paying attention.
The names were weird. They didn't say them enough. No one was riding a giant fucking worm. Like, what does it have?
This movie is everything Dune Part 2.
Wasn't.
And that's a good thing.
There was no comedic relief.
No, there was no personality.
Of
It was just a
anything.
bland,
Yes.
flat. My life was like this before I joined this group. And here
The
in this
best
group,
character in it.
I found family.
The best character in it was that black guy who's in all those Marvel movies, whose name I also don't know in real
don't
life.
remember his
But
name.
he's great in
He's
everything.
great. He's
and
great
he
in this
was even
movie.
good in this. But he was a general. General something. General Sal, did very good. But he's
chicken?
more known for his chicken. Yes.
I see you going. I said this, make it funny. Hold on, think. Chicken? Chicken.
I knew I was going there before I said it.
He was good.
He was great, but like had nothing to do.
Gave like 3 too many attempted inspirational speeches.
A couple just screams of just joy rather than talking.
He's like, we're gonna. How long does it take to harvest this field? They go, oh, like 2 seasons. He goes, we're gonna do it in 3 days.
Hold
Get
up.
your sleep.
They're like, it takes a season. How long's a season? You're not on Earth. Do you call your years seasons?
Don't they have like
Is
3
it a
sons?
fortnight? Like, what's going on? You
Is
got to
it a
do it in
fortnight?
3 days. I'm like, that would be crazy if I knew what the first measurement
Even
was.
so, like, how long is 3 days for you? Does Zack Snyder just assume he's like, no, it's basically Earth, but it's not.
Yeah. So like, they had to, so assuming it's Earth, they had to do 3 months of work in 3 days. Now I don't know about you, but even if you had a sweatshop running,
They didn't do it in 3
they
days.
weren't getting. They did it in
They
2.
had 3 days to do that and then dig trenches.
Like it was
fuck.
nothing.
Yes.
They built new homes. And they fucking pulled the ship out of.
Yes.
They pulled the ship out of the
water.
dirt,
Yeah.
even though it was only like a 1/4 inch deep. And then they were like,
And then she immediately was like,
flew away. They're like, oh, maybe we can repair it. Maybe it still works. It was completely
instantaneously
fine.
fine. Yeah.
She could have went home day 1. Instead, she's like, I'm gonna live on this
I'm
planet.
going to stay here. And they're like, we got to pull it out of the river.
Did no one question that? They're like, this bitch could have left the whole time. They're killing my whole family tomorrow because you didn't leave.
On top of that, they like build these houses. They're like, we're going to put the grain. We have to sort the grain. We got to put the grain in the bags. Put it against the building. They can't blow up the building. Blew up the building.
Blew up. Yeah.
They're like, and the space Nazi's like, I know they're putting the grain up against the buildings. They really think that that we won't, or he's like, they know that we can't kill them because it'll destroy the product. And after like 5 minutes, he's like, blow the shit up.
Yeah, but
Blow
the
up the whole town.
the other guy was like, no, you can't. And he's like, we have men down there. And then it immediately cuts back to them down there with everyone murdered. They won. And I was like, okay, you could shoot now. And then they sent a new wave in. You could have just told them to hold back and then shoot the gun.
Yeah, there was definitely like an attempted Lord of the Rings thing where it's like everybody's dead and then you all you see smoke and it's just hundreds of dudes being like, we're going to get it. I don't remember what the suit looks like.
So many Kylo in episode 8 things. Where he's like, more. He's like, fire at him. I don't give a fuck. And it's just like, it was just as dumb as when he did it. If you're going to pick a cool moment, don't pick a moment that we memed because it was so goofy. There you go. End it like that. Just a quick sigh. And that's the episode. How long has this been? Were we even at 30 minutes? Episode 100, the shortest one yet. Sorry.
Episode 100, the one that took the most effort, but only behind the camera.
Yeah.
On camera.
Just a shit show.
No, not a shit show.
Fire's coming back.
I wouldn't say it's a shit show. I would say like
Maybe
it's a shitty movie.
It's a shitty movie with a shitty review because there's nothing to talk about.
If we saw Ministry of
Ungentlemanly Warfare, which I wanted to see, which I also heard was terrible, but I really wanted to see it because Alan Ritchson and Henry Cavill. We wanted to call him Civil War.
Gives me that vibe, yeah. Definitely.
So, it's just
it is crazy too. Is this was meant to be like I thought that was you like joking on dick or something. I don't know.
Oh, thanks.
This was meant to be a cornerstone too. I don't know what the fuck comes out next.
What do you mean?
What movie comes out next week?
Oh my god, Planet of the Apes.
That's not next week. That's like 2 weeks from now.
It's close enough. We had Civil War. Oh, we had the Knuckles show. Wait, next week, the 25th to 26th?
Yeah.
Okay. So.
Might be the week after.
We have the Knuckles show. We have Dead Boy Detectives.
What is that?
The show that's in the same universe as Sandman. That has been helped created by Gerard Way, which has the Black Parade in the trailer.
Okay.
You have. I've told someone this like 9 times, and I keep forgetting it every time. You have the Fallout update that's coming out that went along with the TV
Fallout
show
4?
where the Fallout 4 now gets like the updated graphics, but we won't review that.
Definitely fucking play it.
You have the Knuckles TV show, like I said, and then I think you know what? We have technology.
You have a phone. My phone is up there recording you, and
we are a society.
Jimmy has the iPad and the computer's
I
recording
got a
us.
match.
Congratulations!
Yay!
Do we want to do a round of Brendan's Tinder on the podcast?
Oh.
Does she have glasses? Just look at the doc. See if I have anything written down.
Oh, that's a good call. I was going on Google and then I didn't know what to Google.
My feet are cold.
My left half is cold.
The sun is going down.
The sun is going down, but it only went down 5 degrees.
Only, he said.
Sorry, I still named what I named it. I didn't see what you renamed the last short to. Crap. Outlines. Thanks. Challengers. The Zendaya movie.
Zendaya gets double teamed.
And Boy Kills World.
Oh, that's cool.
Which
That's
actually is not really a big movie, but like I'm actually kind of excited for that. It
Apparently there's a game for it.
Looks kind of like a comic book thing.
This could be fun. Challengers is going to trend probably, so we can just talk about Zendaya getting double teamed.
Nice.
That happens almost every episode.
It does. And then we don't even have Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes until the week after that one.
Yeah. And then like 2 weeks after that we have Furiosa, so we have to watch
so
four
you have
Mad Max
the
movies?
Fall Guy in between.
yeah.
So starting next week, we actually have a pretty good run coming up.
All right.
Because I expect Challengers to be a good movie, even if it's not our type of movie.
Sure.
It'll be good. The Fall Guy, I'm so fucking hyped for.
I can't fucking wait.
Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, I'm so ready for. Furiosa, I'm
Have to watch the Mad Max
probably
movies.
gonna have fun, but I don't really care.
Did you hear today has a 17-minute action scene that took like 80 days to film?
And then just for you guys, Garfield.
But not the new one. The old two with Bill Murray.
The old one, Bill Murray and his brother. His brother's in it. He kind of talks like that. No, that's not his voice. He talks like something.
He talks like a person.
He talks
Maybe
like he
similar to
smokes a
this,
lot.
but less similar
Bill
to
Murray, if he just had a stoma.
This. Yeah, I don't want to talk about Bill Murray. Are we going to watch the other two Garfield movies for that too?
No.
Did you see I
They're
took
not
off Back
canon.
to Black?
Oh, because it
I
got
don't
a
wanna see
1
that.
star.
Yes, because oh, poor Amy Winehouse.
Yeah.
Not only rolling in her grave, but like
Take it away too soon yet again.
that was good.
Yeah. That fireball is terrible.
I haven't had a single sip of it.
Oh, you bastard.
Kind of on purpose. No, that's good. That's just sugar. That's
There's a
all that
lot
is.
more spice to it than I remember there being.
Mine's very sweet.
I'm whiter than you.
I don't know if you can tell, but kind of can't taste anything.
I can taste everything. Okay. Oh, Jesus Christ. That sounded like it was coming out. Okay. So now that we've both stalled completely and just... What now?
Just when he said what now? He's like, I don't want to end the podcast. I just want to kind of hear it say some dumb shit.
I want you to hold the laptop with one camera and one phone, and then we go into my house and go see what Isaiah's up to for the podcast with video.
I could just have that be the after stinger.
No, it's fine because I don't know.
You just don't.
Yeah, I don't want to know.
All right, so now we have a couple questions as we get to the ending of this very interesting episode. Honestly, folks, if you were to just listen to this again, but like hit a little something, and then just sit here with us, you'd be like, oh shit, that does make sense.
That does make sense.
The vein on the Snickers bar does need to come
It does need to come back.
bigger.
Like,
What did you say?
this is blacker. And then I immediately thought of the Cards Against Humanity card.
Biggest blackest dick.
Yeah. And
card-
we're just, making a full circle to when we were 12 talking about Snickers bar.
Just regressed. Okay, Brendan. So number one,
Yeah.
do you want to do another outdoor episode of the podcast?
Yes, preferably when it's warmer,
Yeah.
but not too much warmer because I'm not getting eaten alive right now, but I'm cold.
Yeah. And it's funny too because we haven't been on the actual set in like 3 or 4 weeks at this point.
Yeah.
We did like 2 episodes at my house.
I'm not going to lie, the set's kind of depressing
I
because you're
can see it.
in that box, but at the same time, when you're having a bunch of drinks at night, it's fine.
Yeah. I think the problem really is that we're trying to drink less.
Yeah.
It's at a bar, so kind of.
It's at a bar, and there's no windows, so you're
There's
just
no
kind of
windows,
like,
and it's. I'm kind of still moderately scarred of the first day when we, it didn't wind up paying off for us at all.
I had
but,
fun that day.
We built up the set and then we recorded 3 episodes of the podcast back to back to back.
Got so drunk.
Psychopaths. We ate like fucking How many fucking old fashions do we have? Like 6 in your basement?
I think I had 6, yeah.
And we were podcasting for like 8 or 9 hours. I can totally understand why I don't want to do that again. Men don't need fire. Men have fire in hand.
If you start a fire without a blowtorch, you're an idiot.
Bro, it's fucking 2024. Why are you trying to start a fire with matches?
It's not, I don't care
With the
that it's not
sun?
manly. It's a fucking blowtorch. Leave it alone.
Also, like, doesn't work. You're gonna sit down with the blowtorch in your hand?
You hear that? As men make fire.
With blowtorch.
We have the technology.
Fucking stupid. So you want to do another outdoor episode?
Yeah.
I think I'm just scarred.
Yeah.
I think 3 episodes in your basement and like 5 hours worth of Marvel. I think I'm good. So I think now every time we go down there, I'm like, this is fun, but this is depressing. Yes.
Yeah.
And it just don't want to be down there.
Yeah. I do like the couch setup now.
The couch setup is good, especially with those little mic stands I got.
Because you have an L-shaped couch, we're facing each other, which
Yeah.
solves the problem for my thing.
Yeah, it's just I have to sit differently.
Yeah. You're sitting like you're at day camp and you just like sitting
I was
crisscross
comfortable. What the fuck are
applesauce
you
waiting
gonna
for your
say?
fucking juice box.
What the fuck with a juice box?
Yeah. Can we just talk? Can we bring that back? Can we just approve that? Why do only kids get juice boxes? It's nice to drink out of a box.
Bro, I could fuck up like 6 Capri Suns.
Yeah, you know what you can't fuck up anymore? Sunny D. You taste that as an adult? It ain't right.
It's not. It's not orange juice. That's for fucking sure.
It's not.
It's beverage.
Sunny Delight.
It's just like how Yoo-hoo is not chocolate milk. Chocolate beverage.
Chocolate better.
You keep drinking it. You keep not liking it. I don't know why you keep doing it.
Because I taste it, it's good. Then I get the cinnamon, and that's good. And then it just like, for some reason, burns the tip of my tongue, which I've never had from drinking Fireball before. Like, there's always like a little bit of like something to it, but like not like that. And I don't know if that's just because that bottle's been in my basement for a decade.
Long time, yeah.
So-
There's like the banana.
Banana.
It was delicious. Banana old fashions.
But yeah, not even wrapping up this podcast for like 20 minutes. This has been the Anything Ball.
No, we're not there yet.
It continues to go. That's right. I faked you out.
I knew the whole time.
I did.
No, I was telling you, I have three questions, right? So we want to do an outside one again. The set is interchangeable at this point.
We have exactly what we need to do this, which is a surprise.
It's totally fucking prepared. Number 2, our new posting schedule.
Yeah.
We've only done it for a week, but I think it works. I think it's fun.
Yeah. I just love that this entire time I didn't realize that we've had 4 chairs and you gave your girlfriend the only broken one.
Here's that one.
Okay.
You minded to it. And the last one, Brendan.
Yes.
Are you enjoying the podcast in its current form?
Yes. Shorts.
Annoying?
Yes, not because I have to do them every day, but because I'm trying to be more committed to going to the gym.
Yeah.
So it just makes me feel like I'm in a rush to get through my set in order to get home and do this in time, or I have to be okay with coming home, sitting down for like an hour, doing more work
And then going
after a
back
full
out.
day, and then going back out, which I can't. So I have to go to the gym first. So it just feels like a bit much, and because of that, I'm not doing multiple in a day a lot because I'm just, by the time I'm done, it's like 8:39, and I'm like, I could do more.
Like, I want to fucking relax.
I want to chill, yeah.
I get it.
So like, it's not terrible, but it's just a bit draining
Our
sometimes.
schedules are different.
Yeah.
If my schedule wasn't so fucking all over the place, then we could totally just like record on Friday or Saturday.
Yeah, I
make
miss
sure it's
doing
on
that.
Sunday and-
Sunday recording sucks because you know what I want to do tonight? Not worry about this, go to bed, and wake up tomorrow and enjoy the rest of my weekend, but I can't because it's a Monday.
Yeah. Well, I got to get up at 4:30, so we are going to wrap this up right now because it's now
It's getting dark.
8?
Yeah, 8:02.
All right. Go ahead.
This has been the Anything Bowl. Or has it? No, it has.
My name's Miguel.
And I'm Brendan.
Well, thank you, folks, for 100 episodes.
Good
See you
night.
later.